Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna.
Hi.
Tom Caswell.
Hello.
Dan Weine.
Hi.
And on double duty, we got a double date here.
Tom,
you do the honors, please.
You do the honors because you don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Helsinki?
This is
Yeah.
Okay.
Suck it.
You nailed it. This is Slate.
That's correct.
AKA Brooke.
Brooke is good. Brooke is good.
Brooke is joining us this week because Brooke has been playing a wee bit of video games.
Is Brooke a
recently.
leprechaun now?
Yeah. Also, Brooke, I heard Diablo, a lot of hate going on right now for Diablo. So what's the deal? Actually, no, sorry. We'll get to it. So.
I haven't heard this anywhere, so this will be...
It's the patch, the latest patch, like nerfed a bunch of stuff and people are upset. That's what it is.
Are we not gonna? Can I curse?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, this is a PG-13 podcast. You get one fuck per episode.
So should I save it?
You can't curse.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
Tom
can-
just used it. We're done with it.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I use
No
it.
I thought it was
F-words.
one fuck
Just kidding.
per person.
Just kidding.
No, what words?
No F
You
words,
can't say fuck.
But we do talk about cum a lot.
Dan.
You can talk about cum all you want, just don't
Come
say
and
fuck.
shit. Come
Oh,
and
it's
shit.
a bing bang boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like it.
The
Yeah,
Diablo?
You don't
No,
like cum
it's,
and shit?
No, I don't like this. I don't like bodily fluids like at all.
I'm
That's
okay
true.
with that
That's true.
answer. I feel like
What
I
about
understand
PP?
that.
PP, okay?
No.
I think it's time we get into our first segment here.
Hold
I
on,
think
let's
so,
think of
too.
some of the bodily fluids.
I would like to know why this podcast takes so long, and now I understand. Like how much time do you guys spend doing this? And then-
Yep.
Most of
Yep.
Mhm.
That's about right.
Uh,
Oh,
When you hear that sound, that means it's time for
are we doing
Today's
Pokemon stuff?
Pokemon.
yeah. We
Yeah,
did
this isn't the Brooke show that you came on and you're gonna do Diablo.
I like Pokemon stuff.
We
Well,
do Pokemon
today's
stuff
the
every
300
episode.
I don't want to talk about this Pokemon. I want to talk about cool
Too bad.
Pokemon.
Too bad.
Yeah,
Today's
too
this
bad.
is a great Pokemon. Today's 385th Pokemon.
What's
His
yeah,
385th
Tom?
episode.
Did you like tell Brooke the format? Like, what's going on here?
I assumed she
No way.
knew.
No, I eavesdrop a smidge.
Mm,
Okay.
I know you do Pokemon stuff,
mhm.
Well, this is us doing it. Pokemon stuff.
and that's really all I know. And I know there's news.
So whichever episode we are on, we do the corresponding Pokemon in the Pokedex. So with this being the 385th episode of the podcast, we're talking about the 385th Pokemon in the Pokedex, which is Jirachi, which is a mythical Pokemon from the third generation. It's actually
I
the
believe
second
that
to last
Joni loves
Pokemon
Jirachi.
in this generation.
Is it a starfish?
That's
Is
good.
it a flying starfish Pokemon? Is it water?
Oh.
It is a flying star Pokemon. Not a flying starfish, but it is a
It
flying
kind
star.
of looks like it's wearing the earrings from Demon Slayer.
Yeah, the sunrise earrings. Yes, very good. I believe those are pieces of paper
Stuck to
that
it, so
that
it's
the
sticky.
yeah. I think like the myth is like these are pieces of
Myth.
paper that you like write your wish on.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh,
it
okay.
is, yeah. If
Oh,
I'm
okay.
yeah.
What?
Jirachi
Well-
is now one in several lines of Pokemon that deal with like wishes or dreams, magic. This would be the follow-up sort of to Celebi. So Jirachi, I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. I like the mythical Pokemon. This would be this game's
Yeah.
Mew, if you would, right?
you
Small,
would.
unassuming.
I would.
I would.
Pokemon.
I would.
It's
Jirachi appears to be based
powerful.
on the concept of wishing upon a star, the practice of making a
Wow.
wish while observing meteors in the night sky.
Yeah,
I like to look at the
they're called
sky.
wish tags, the pieces of paper.
How about that name origin though?
Yeah, that name origin though. Jirachi may be derived from Zealot, Russian for to wish.
Wait,
It,
What-
it may
what did you just
also
say, Alex?
involve Jin or
How's it spelled?
Sachi,
We should
Japanese
ask-
fortune.
We should ask Stephen Fry because he lets us know in Mythos.
Yeah, in the mythos, he knows all about the
Mm.
origins.
So
Mm.
the Jirachi, the Russian. I've never seen. This is weird. It's ZHE
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
it's
I'm just-
probably je sound at
Yeah.
the front.
Yeah,
Because it's
Gelat.
usually je.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm not buying this.
That's
There you go.
It's
This
most
is the
likely based on
worst-
Jin. I agree with that more so.
Yeah, it
because
may
that
also
makes
involve
sense.
Jin or Sachi, Japanese for fortune. I think this might be one of the most like biggest reaches in the name origin
Mm.
section we've ever encountered.
Wow.
There you go.
That's my opinion.
I mean,
Wow.
this is I think where Jin, and then if you look at the Japanese version, Shachi, if you put those together, that makes the
Yeah.
most sense here.
Yeah, they're really reaching. They're really pulling strings with
Nintendo,
this.
you know, hey,
Russian
the
one.
translation team, they're not the ones making these Pokemon. So I think sometimes
Right.
they're like, how many of these we have to do this time?
Right.
You know, and they
Mhm.
phone it in. They're phoning it in sometimes.
Yep.
There it is.
It feels like a good lead into the Lost conversation because
That's a post show. That's a post show.
Oh, sorry.
Brooke, again,
Oh,
this is
Jin.
not.
This
Oh,
whole
Jin.
episode is a lead in into the Lost conversation.
Yeah,
Jin,
the
I
whole
love that.
episode is a lead in to the right. Exactly.
Bye.
Tom, you gotta do better work, better prep here.
I am
Does
multitasking.
Britt know the
Is Britt
the
here right
playdown,
now?
the rundown?
I'll bring her
Does
down.
Britt know the rundown?
There's no way.
Do
There's
you
no way,
think?
but she's also
Do
not
you
on right now.
think? Do you really think she gives two shits about
What?
the rundown?
What will happen if your sweet bean is into this shit?
Is into this? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm pretty sure Britt will be not upset, but she'll
But
be like,
will she
"Oh,
become into it because
of me."
She better
No,
not
because-
start listening
because
to
the
the
little
podcast.
lady's into it?
Otherwise, she'll
She
love.
wouldn't want
she'll
to
hate-
listen to the podcast. We'll be so old seeming and boring.
I'm
Well, here's
not
the
asking
thing.
about the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
I think-
asking because of the Pokemon. If your sweet
Mm.
lady, little lady, is into this, I don't know if I can use names, so I'm trying.
We're avoiding the name.
Yeah,
we
so
avoid the name,
literally-
even though
we slip
people
up
know
a
the name.
lot, but
we
we
slip
avoid
it
the-
up. But yeah, it's yeah.
It depends, I
It's-
guess, if it
it's-
counts as rebelling against like
So
the
little
parents'
lady,
wishes, right?
if little lady likes
Right.
Pokemon, what will
Yeah.
Mama Bear do?
You know, it's funny. I think she'll think it's nerdy, but she'll have to just,
Vibe with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
these days she would be probably less. It would be less common for her to not like at least some video games,
Some
things
video
like
game of some
Pokemon
kind.
and stuff. Like
Or maybe she's a little weeb.
We our
very possible.
Brooks' cousin,
which Alex
kid.
would be like, great. I get to watch all the anime I ever wanted now. Finally.
yeah.
Brooke,
Oh, it'd be
Brooks,
great.
Brooks' cousin's kid never really played video games, and then when I got my Switch OLED, I gave him my old Switch, and now he is obsessed.
Oh, well,
And
yeah.
I apologized to his parents. I was like, I'm really sorry, and they're like, no, like he was quite introverted, and I think like he has become a lot more like expressive since picking it up. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll take that. That's a win.
And it helps with dexterity and like finger muscles, which is super important, and memory functions.
Yeah,
So
Sure.
video
sure.
games should not be looked at as a negative. They should be used as an educational learning tool.
I don't think they are anymore. I think that
Yeah,
we
not
were
anymore.
sort of the last generation that it was a thing for. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of children now play games, and games for anyone like under 30 are looked at the same way they look at movies and music and everything else. And
I really
it's
thought
just
you were
an
going to
art
say
form
porn.
that's going to be here forever.
I don't know.
I thought you were
I
going to say
disagree.
porn.
I think I
It
super
looked like you were
disagree.
going to
No.
start with a P. You're like, it just looked at like movies.
I think that a lot of parents limit it instead of embrace it. And
Oh,
like,
sure. Parents do. Sure. There's still
Yeah.
parents that are stupid. Sure. That's always going to be the
Mm.
world, though. You know.
Yeah, if you're a parent, you think that way, you're an idiot.
But kids don't give a fuck what parents think. You know? If anything, if your parents are like, I don't want you to play games, they're going to be like, I want to play games
I'm
more
playing
now. a
more
lot of the
games.
time.
Yeah, more games.
Like-
Exactly.
But amongst children, it's not like when Alex and I were kids,
Mhm.
there was a point in time once we were like around high school era where you didn't even want to like people thought even talking about video games was still nerdy at that time.
well, I went
Yeah.
through that phase and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And we talk about it a lot.
But
So
that's not
Facts.
what it's like anymore for them, you know? So
Should we ask them? Because we are all past that age, and like, should we bring an
I-
interviewee in?
I think we just rely on Chris. I mean, he's the high school guy. He knows what high schools are thinking right now. He's in high school.
yeah,
He's in the hallways. He's checking
He's
out
in
the
the hallways.
students.
He's taking
it out,
notes.
right? He's in the hallway taking notes.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hey,
So,
hey,
so
fellow
Watching
kids.
the kids.
Hey, fellow
yeah.
kids.
right. Hey, fellow kids. Right. That's right.
Right, back to this fucking like sticky star.
Sticky Star.
Oh, we're done. We're done with Jirachi.
Are you serious?
so-
Yeah,
Why
it's
she's
done.
still
We're
up?
done.
Steel
X her
Psychic
out.
Okay, I'll
Pokemon.
get rid of her.
High stats.
Bye.
Very
I had
cool.
one question though about her.
Let's hear
Is
it.
that
Okay.
little? Is it like a mouth or a belly? Because it could be like, I know she has a mouth up top, but is it the real mouth below?
Maybe she's like a ray, Dan, and like she
No,
sucks
stingray.
under her belly.
Maybe.
She's like a what?
Like a ray? Like when
Oh,
you
like
feed
I'm gonna
them,
blow your mind,
like
Dan.
a stingray?
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
What?
It's its third eye.
What?
You're
It's a psychic
fibbing.
Pokemon. It's its third eye.
So when it
and
opens,
part of
it looks like an eye, at least.
Yeah, so it can only grant 3 wishes, which is why it has the 3 tags on it. And part of like granting those wishes is when it opens its third eye, which is linked to a lot of different.
Okay, so basically that little
Folklore.
line is just a closed eyeball.
Yes.
Accepting it, moving on.
Yep. There's a picture on Bulbapedia of it with the eye open.
Sleeping with one eye open.
So it's kind of creepy. All right, what's going on, Tuna? You were gone.
Yeah.
A vacation for who?
Oh,
all waiting to hear.
Oh,
Right, the
Oh,
vacation
I
for who?
forgot. Oh my
Tell
goodness
us.
gracious!
So
I'm
the
excited.
vacation for who? It wasn't really a vacation. I think Britt probably.
Well, we knew that going in.
This is great. That's what we were hoping to
we
hear.
knew that going in.
Yeah, I think Britt might have said it best when she said, it's more of a trip, not a vacation.
Sure.
So
a trek or a trip?
it was okay. There were things that were surprisingly good.
Set it
and
up
then
for
there
the
were-
listeners because I don't think we gave any
We went
context.
right. Okay, so last week, me and the in-laws went to and Britt and the baby and Britt's brother and their baby. Well,
This is
not a
a terribly
baby,
structured sentence.
three.
You
Three
guys
kids.
going
So
to
it's a
Costco?
fellowship.
Jesus.
Oh
No,
yeah, do
you
you guys
go
to
Costco?
Costco.
Do you guys Costco, do you guys
So we
Costco
went-
shop as a family?
So no, I go by myself. So I have to go by myself. There's no I just go into Costco with the cart. We've gone over this, Brooke, in a previous episode. The families in Costco is like the worst.
Stressful. It's stressful because
horrible.
those kids are getting free samples and they taking up half the aisle. And
Well,
you're just
no,
like,
I said this already. There's
stop.
because you've got the mom, the dad, the young kids. For some reason, the high school kid is
The
coming, the
grandparents are
college
there.
kid is coming, the grandma's there. It's a whole production. It's the worst. Anyway, so we went to actually upstate New Jersey, if you want to say upstate New Jersey.
Oh.
It was in
Well, we're upstate New Jersey, so where the fuck did you go?
we went to Sussex County.
Okay.
That's pretty
and-
close.
It's not too
And
far, yeah.
it was the Crystal something
Thanks for the
resort,
invite.
Crystal Springs Resort. On the family trip, sure. So the Crystal Springs Resort, we went for 4 days, 3 nights. There was a pool there. The pool was sweet. The pool was like this in this
Okay.
biosphere. It had plants. It had a whole thing. It was really, really cool.
Shit,
the
we'll have to
slide,
go for a weekend.
the slide was very cool, Chris.
Oh,
big time
cool
slider. The
slide.
slide
Oh, yeah,
was
Chris.
fast.
Would you design a plant slide?
I like the natural pools. I think they're really nice.
I do too. The
the only
fucking
thing with
swim
them is-
ponds.
You can't have a heated natural pool
That's
because
fine.
the water has to stay cool. And I would like to have a heated pool.
So you just
so
want a
that's-
hot tub you can throw some fucking like water lilies in.
Well, this wasn't this was a natural, like there were plants, but the pool was concrete.
Oh,
No.
I thought
I'm
this was
talking
one
ab-
of the natural pools.
Yeah, I'm
This is-
talking about the
uh-uh,
one with like the
uh-uh.
fish and the
Yeah,
algae.
Yeah, well,
fuck
and
that.
you do. They have all these different filter plants that you put
No,
in so that you
it's
don't
a
have to have an
dream.
actual filter. So it's like you're swimming in a pond basically in your backyard is the
in your
idea.
backyard.
I think they're very cool, but you can't have a heater in them, which sounds crazy because I live in LA. But the reason you'd want that is it is just warm enough outside all year that if you have a even slightly heated pool, you could swim in it like 10 months a year here.
Yo,
You know,
let me
so
tell you.
That's why I would. if I could do whatever. That's
Let me tell you, I had a pool growing up, and my father at one point of my life refused to start taking care of it, and he let it sit for like years, and it became a pond, and it became a tadpole
It became a
pond.
natural pool.
It became a natural pool. It became a tadpole pond breeding ground. And for summers,
Yeah.
there would just be baby fucking frogs like hopping around the pool area. And we had this French bulldog at the time, and she'd go outside, we'd let her out to like have a lap, and she'd eat the baby frogs.
Oh.
Wild.
Anyway, back to Tuna's story.
Right.
Sorry, Tuna, sorry.
So this place was cool. In the sense that I think it would have been better for just me and Britt to go. Not the most kid-friendly place. They advertised it like they had kid-friendly activities, but there weren't a ton. There was a petting zoo that was really
One
just like
goat.
a couple.
One
Yeah,
old
it was
goat.
it was like one goat, 3-4 ducks, a pig, maybe there
Well,
was a
that's
pig. I
just
don't
a
remember.
backyard.
Yeah. And the guy didn't really know anything about the animals, and it was just kind of, and there was a real convoluted way to get over there anyway. But really back to the parenting. Well, I do want to say one thing. They grew their own like vegetables and greens and stuff there, so that was cool. There was actually this like kind of farm to table dinner aspect, and the food was great. We had an Italian dinner the last night that was actually really good. The sauce reminded me of when my uncle, my aunt, and not my Nona, but my cousin's Nona used to make fresh sauce in the backyard like years ago. And the sauce reminded me of that. It was that good. Okay. But to the parenting aspect, which was out of control, the crib that they gave us to sleep for her was like the length of her. And they had no other cribs for her. It creaked. Okay. And
No pack and
whole,
play? Just
we're
because you assume
idiots.
that, yeah.
We assumed that they would have had we were told that they would have a crib for her.
Yeah, so why do it?
So she stayed, but on the flip side, she stayed up till like 8 o'clock. She was loving it. She was having a great time. But you know, when she went to bed at 8 o'clock, Brittany and I were laying in bed at 8 o'clock. Like that was it. Night was over. Like that we're done. That's it. It's over. Nothing is baby proofed, so you have to watch her constantly. The only other plus side is that if she spilled anything, I didn't care because it's not my shit. So that was great. If she spilled something on the couch, I was like, oh, what do I give a shit? It's not my couch. So that was fine. And then the pool is stressful because you're constantly watching a 2-year-old who can't swim, who's in floaties and is wanting to swim but can't. So
you didn't do the baby thing where you toss her in the pool when she's an infant?
Have
you seen those videos where like you're teaching the baby to like self survive and like?
No, I mean, she's been in the pool a bunch now and she's good, but she still can't tread water. Like I can't just leave her alone. So there's no like a pool. I'm relaxing. You know? And then you know, the kid's got to go down for a nap at noon. So it's like you go up to the room and you're laying in your bed for 3 hours.
You bring your
Switch.
Switch?
I did.
Yeah.
So I did bring the Switch.
It's too bad.
And
I
brought it
Zelda.
Oh, I'm like really close to being like very complete with Zelda. I still have wrapped.
I did all the shrines. I did every side. There's only things I had left were get all the caves and the Koroks. Everything else is done.
Right, but that's what I want to do. I don't want to do the Koroks, but I do want to do all the. So I did all the caves. I did all the wells.
You did all the caves and wells.
I did. I ended up doing the wells. Yeah. I didn't do the caves though, because.
So I did that. I want to do all the Addisons. Don't ask me why.
I missed this? What the hell is that?
The guy that you're helping with the sign.
Oh. Okay.
So I want to do all those.
Yes. Fuck that guy.
You know what? Fine. I just have a very quick. I said this to Chris when we were playing We Were Here, but I'll say it now for the listeners and for you all. I'm going to have this one comment on Zelda, and then we can kind of just put this to bed and not talk about this game anymore.
You're going to ask if we think Link's hot too?
I don't think as cool. Okay. Because we've already, the paraglider, I think and the Zonai devices that let you fly around. Okay. I think they're actually a hindrance. As great as they are for mobility and for speed at which you can traverse the area, maybe unlock that later, like much, much later, because I feel like I dropped in so many times to areas and I skipped like the set pieces of walking through the terrain and seeing the grandness of, let's say, I was thinking about this the other day, Hylia Bridge, right?
Mhm.
Like that is such a cool concept. Like that bridge is
Mhm.
there, but you don't need who needs bridges in this world? You can fly around, do whatever the fuck you want. Like there's no need for a bridge.
But
even.
we did all that in the first game.
I know, but I'm saying like again, like that, like I just feel like I feel like in the previous game, I feel like I used the horse more and I kind of like walked because I didn't realize that was part of the game, I guess. I just feel like if you didn't have the power glider, you didn't have this like freedom of movement, which is kind of contrary to the whole point. But if you were able to just walk around and walk into an area instead of dropping into an area, I just feel like that would be cool. I think that would be cool.
It would, but I think a lot of us would have been like, wow, this game's like the exact same fucking map and it's taking forever to traverse. It would.
I still feel like I'm doing a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like I miss. Okay.
You missed the old school Zelda play.
I miss the idea. Like, okay, when I play God of War, right? You walk into an area in God of War. I get it that it's a completely different game. I get it that it's not open world. I get it. Okay. But that I feel like that hits harder when I walk into an area and I'm shown the area rather than just drop. Like I dropped into Gerudo.
Yeah.
Like just dropped in.
But
like,
it's the same map.
I get it. I'm saying for the future, maybe keep the power glider shit, till mid game.
I mean,
Midgard.
I think, and I said this to Alex, I think instead of 2D, 3D Zelda split, what we're going to see now is open world, new like freedom of movement split and old fashioned, like more linear Zelda split. I also think we're probably going to get Ocarina remake at some point, right? Because they've never done
Ocarina of Time. That game was so goddamn hard.
Yeah, they've never remade it. It's considered one of the most popular video games of all time. It seems
It was
crazy.
a nightmare. That's why it was popular, because people were
Wait,
like, I could beat this.
When you say remake, you mean
Remake it.
Ground
Like
up.
just re-release the same game again with the like in HD.
Yeah.
Like remake the game.
Right. Okay.
I feel like that's got to
But
happen.
with new puzzles or same puzzles?
Sure, whatever they decide to do.
Well, because they've done it. It's come out on 3DS, so
yeah, that was
right, but it's just the 64 game. Chris is saying
yes.
Resident Evil remake.
All they did was
shit.
upgrade textures like on the 3DS.
Yes. Okay, yeah. That's what
I'm saying.
yeah.
Like,
or
remake
you could do a fun
whole
thing
thing.
like RE7 remake where it's like an alternate reality. Spoilers for RE7 remake, but like the story is different and the game is about how the story is different. And because Ocarina of Time is about time travel, like you could do something fun where it's like kind of the same story, but things are changed and there's a
Well, you know what they could do?
That'd be cool.
I mean, they have. The thing is like Hyrule is not the only space they've ever created. Like they could do Termina from Majora and completely redo that. That would, and make it as big as this. That would be fucking cool, I think. But what do I know? I don't work for Nintendo.
A rewind mechanic like they have in Majora's Mask with like a Tears of the Kingdom style open world would be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I agree with Chris. I mean, I think we're still gonna get like 2D top down, I think the people that made the Link's Awakening remake will do something like a link to the link between worlds or whatever. But I do think that the split will be more cool. Here's the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom, and then here's a linear thing that might be not top down, might be more akin to a Twilight Princess or something like that. Anyway,
I think they should do Termina as the set piece. The world. That would be, you know what Termina is, right? I'm not like talking to my
from Majora's Mask. Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, Termina from Majora's Mask. Like that would be cool. Clock Town.
Yeah, the level from Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Right.
I have a comment to make about something you said earlier. I didn't want to interrupt though.
No, go ahead.
So Tom, I brought this thing I do up. In fact, the last time I brought this up was when I was sitting next to you and we tried to podcast in the same room with Alex and it didn't work. But I do this thing where when I travel, I bring an Apple TV with me and an HDMI cable. And the reason I do it is when you go to these hotels or wherever you're staying, there isn't always something like that you can sign into or watch, or they just have like shitty cable or whatever. So it's very easy to do. Tuna, this is why I do it. In the situation you were in, you and Britt could have popped in your AirPods and you could have watched whatever you wanted the whole time you were in that room, and it would have made wouldn't made a peep for the baby.
No, but I watched on my iPad. I can't watch with Britt because she was on her phone. You know.
Yeah, I do.
It's the whole problem.
I do know. Yesterday when we were trying to watch Hijack, I was like, "I'm sorry, are we watching Hijack? Or you on your phone?" I literally paused until the phone was down.
Wait, no. So I did the same thing. So we were watching. Okay, so she fell asleep. We were watching Hijack as well, and she fell asleep last episode.
Thursday.
Right. So she fell asleep last episode. I start this episode. The recap's on. She's,
Yep.
I'm like, what would help, since you didn't want to watch the episode before that you missed when you fell asleep? It would help if you watched this fucking recap to know what the hell happened while you were sleeping. And it was like, okay, I'm sorry. Phone goes down. Right. Episode starts. 5 minutes.
Is it prefaced in it? Okay, I have some serious fucking comments about this.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. We got Brooke to the rescue.
Is it?
Brooke is a multitasker when she watches.
I like to do something while I watch. I'm very good at it.
She is
Are
good.
you though?
She's good. She's good.
I am,
she's
because
good.
I'm just drawing and I can watch and draw.
It doesn't bother me. There are times where something very important happens,
and Tom
where
will
I'll be like, you need to like really pay attention
and
to
I'll
this
put my stuff down
because it's not talking, it's like visual things happening.
Yeah.
But 85% of the time, 90% of the time, Brooke's multitasking and watching is not a problem.
10 out of 10. But my
10 out of 10. 100.
Dude, the amount of times that I've said
60% of the time.
Wait, hold on.
It works
I got a question.
Of the time.
I have a question. Tom, do you ever quiz Brooke? Like,
No,
I'll quiz Britt if something
that's
happens.
fucking nasty.
And I go, oh, did you catch that? And she goes, yeah. And I go, oh, you saw blah, blah, blah? And she goes, yes. And I'll go, well, that didn't fucking happen. So I know you're not paying attention.
I don't do that with Brooke, but we do like.
I
Brooke,
thought
well, yeah.
you were going to say the opposite, which is why I have this problem. And I'm assuming why you have the problem, which is I then have to explain later or during the thing, the things that weren't seen. And I'm like, well, if you were just watching.
If you were just watching it, you'd be fine.
I totally understand that. I think that, like, personally, I'm not good at sitting still. Sitting to watch a show to me is sometimes in my head a waste of time. And I know that it's not, but I need to find something else to do while I'm doing that. Because sitting to me is not something I'm naturally good at. And I'm curious if this is a conversation you've had with your partners.
Nope.
Well, then maybe that's fucking time. Like, maybe to them, this is not their thing.
This isn't the scenario that you're. No, that's not what's happening here.
Do they just not like these shows?
No, that's not what's happening for me.
Sometimes it is what's happening.
Are you trying to make them like something that maybe they don't like, but they're trying to say, "I'll take this one for the team, the couple team," and then
she did try that with Lost, but she put her foot down and was just like, "No." I'm like, all right, fine. Stop.
Tom recently put on this new anime. We watched it at dinner. The pirate one.
Yes. So we started. So here's the problem: is we're caught up on all of our animes,
which is my favorite thing to watch.
We watch anime almost every day, but we're caught up on everything. And I was like, Brooke, there is a show that we could watch for literally ever. And
I like the idea.
Chris would be. And like we'll never not have an episode to watch, to put on, and I know it would make Chris very happy. So
it's gonna end up making you very happy.
No, I mean, Chris, we gave it a go at dinner.
Yeah.
We only watched half of one.
We watched half of one.
What does that mean? You gave it a go? That doesn't sound very good. That sounds. Bad.
I will try anything. If Tom says I want to watch this, I'll say we can give it a go.
Yeah.
If it's not like a big fucking show that I know we have to kind of watch. Like these niche little animes, I'm like, we could try it. Cool.
Yeah.
This fucking anime, we will finish this episode and I will give it 2 more episodes. And that's
Sure.
kind of my vibe right now.
Then you
But-
shouldn't even bother, if I'm being honest, because
Oh,
Well, no, no,
fuck. The unnecessary like screaming
yeah,
stresses me
Luffy
the
like
fuck
popped out of
out.
a barrel and he like screams something and she was like,
I can't. And I like all these modern animes because like the screaming feels intentional. Like
Sure.
there's a demon, I'm gonna scream. That makes sense to me. But like I popped out of a barrel. What the
well,
yelling at
he's
everybody?
a child, so he's
I
children
think it
scream all
annoys
the time.
me.
And that's where you keep
think it
children in
is-
barrels.
I mean, the thing I've been telling Alex is to
Yes,
just
Christian.
read the manga and don't bother with the anime, at least for a little while, because this is a show that's been going on for 23 years. Anime that was made 23 years ago is much more of a
dated.
commodity than it is
Mm.
like, but the story that's in the manga is all very good. The story that's in the anime is unbelievably stretched out because they didn't look at it as like, we're going to adapt this story, like this graphic art story that is a manga, into like the best version of it for TV. They said, oh, we can make a like 45 episodes of this every year. So like a manga takes like 6 to 8 minutes to read. You should be able to put like 3 of those chapters in every episode. They are
Right.
averaging slightly less than 1-to-1. So they're taking 6 to 8 minutes of content and they're stretching it out to 22 minutes every week.
Oh my
So-
god.
So the anime is, especially in the first like handful of years when it like was very much like, this is for children, feels much more like a children's show, even when the story bits are not like a children's show.
Right. I think
And then
that's
it
why
evolves significantly.
I think that's why like my immediate reaction was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm watching children to
Yeah.
watch this show.
Yes.
Now here's my pitch.
pitch.
I'm gonna pitch.
For
I
what?
think to watch the show, I'm not uninterested in what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. I just like this first episode, like I think put a bad tone in my head.
Real quick before we should we be watching the HD version? There's like on Crunchyroll, there's like season 1 and then there's like season 1 HD.
What I would tell people is to watch, especially if you're gonna watch the beginning, I would watch the Netflix ones. You can put it on 1.5 times speed.
Yo!
That's what I-
even the-
That's what I tell
Oh.
people, because it cuts down, because a lot of the filler that they come up with is like, once they have like 50 or 60 episodes in, they start putting flashbacks in already, like 60 episodes into the show. But then they're just like, oh, let's do a reaction shot of every character, like, because they're like, how do we stretch this fucking
to
this
make a whole episode.
right. But again, like that's where like these things kind of diverge. Like the manga is very good, the anime has amazing moments. but
Right. Okay.
Especially at the beginning, it is like the quality of it is much lower than what we expect. Whereas the current anime has some of the best art that I've ever seen in it. Like it is anime movie quality, like visuals, and it like the story is amazing, but especially the older stuff, it is like very. I mean, I was texting Matt for the first week of watching this thing, like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this fucking thing.
Well, Chris, that's what I was gonna ask you is like, is it worth it starting in like 2015? Like, do I pick it up at that point of time? Like, when does it start to become
If
better?
you're not committed yet, this is wait.
What if I just
the
get
live
a
action
YouTube-
version comes out next month? And the
No, what
first-
if I get a YouTube fucking
Yeah.
video that is 10 minutes and it goes, here's the first 800 years of the show in fast
You could also
time,
just
so
download
you know
One
what's
Pace.
happening.
You should download One Pace. I told Tom about this. I
One
can send him the
Pace.
link.
I mean, I know about One Pace.
What is this?
It's a fan abridging.
Yeah, it's a
Wait, a fan-
significant abridge.
Is it kind of like when I try to tell you about 6 seasons of Buffy all in one?
It's like someone took the episodes and edited out all the filler and like
Yes.
edited episodes together.
So then maybe we watch that and then we pick it
You
up.
should, because
at
it's
the good
meant to
stuff.
be direct like to the manga. It's meant to only have stuff that's in the manga. So like it cuts out the reactions, it cuts out a bunch of
Oh.
flashbacks, it cuts out any story bits that are non-canon, which they would do because they were like, oh, we're caught up with the manga, like, or like we're
Here's
going
some
to,
fluff.
so we're gonna do like a whole arc. Like this whole island doesn't exist in the story. We're gonna make all this up, like, because like so One Pace cuts a lot of that out. Now they haven't done the whole show yet because it's a fan project, but they have done several full arcs, especially some of the early ones. So like the first, I think when I sent it to you, Alex, I was like, I think the first like 100 episodes is cut down to the equivalent of like watching like 30 of them or something. Like it's cut down by a very significant amount of time.
You haven't been
All
pulled
right,
in
we'll
by
do
the
it.
song. I mean, the song has pulled me in immediately. I will admit that.
I wasn't pulled in by
Yo,
We skipped
a
the
lot.
intro.
Yo,
We
you
You
skipped
skipped the intro song? Are you kidding me? It's great.
Saturday, I went.
I didn't skip it. I have no control over the fucking computer. You did it because you thought I'd like that.
I used this one after I got used to the songs. I would start to skip them. Just time you gotta catch up. But the song is very good. I went with Matt Saturday night, and Emily, along with Matt's sister, to a One Piece concert, and it was unbelievable. It was at the Dolby Theater, and they had they apparently only did 2 shows. It was like they perform in Japan, but they only did 2 shows in America, which weirdly was LA and Houston. I'm surprised it wasn't in New York. It was very weird. The Dolby Theater, first of all, beautiful theater. I'd never been in there. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And they even had like a couple of the songs like where that were lyrical that they did. Like they were like, oh, you should sing along during this, which was fun. It was great. Matt, his sister, who's one who got him into it. So like Matt was so excited about it. I mean, he was very like he was tearing up during parts of it.
Tearing
Oh yeah.
up.
Oh yeah. It was
Tearing
amazing
up.
though. The music is very, very good. The music's great. So that was fun. We'll talk more about One Piece.
Oh boy.
We should move on from it, though.
If you approve of doing One Piece, we'll do that.
Oh, I would definitely. I mean, I've never read a manga, and when I caught up with the anime,
You didn't read Fruits Baskets when you were like
no, but people have told me about Fruit Basket.
It's one of the like manga for girls.
Oh,
It's one of those.
What does that mean?
Just like
it's definitely geared towards like teenage girls.
Yeah.
it's like
who
YA.
are like, I'm trying to be an anime girl.
Oh my
When
God.
I watched the show, there were 110 episodes. That was when I caught up. Sorry, 1,010 episodes was when I caught up with it. Now it's 1,070, 80 or something. So when I caught up,
It's ridiculous.
the manga's about a year ahead or so of the anime. I was like, I have to know what is happening next, and I was like, I am not waiting for this, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just read manga now. I guess that's a thing I do. Which the first couple chapters you read, because it goes left to right, was like kind of annoying, but after that you're like, whatever.
Did you go back and reread everything, or just pick up where
I just picked up where? Yeah, I just picked up where.
You mean right to
Wait,
left?
so how did the manga
sorry,
end
right to
up
left,
getting?
yes, right.
I was
What
like,
did he
wait a
say?
second.
I
That's
said
the right.
left
That's
to
what
right.
we're used
It was
to.
like, I had to read left to right, and I was really struggling.
I am dyslexic.
Well, wait. I thought the anime was ahead of the manga. So how
No.
did that?
The manga is ahead of the anime.
When did that happen?
It's genuinely always been ahead of the anime. There are times where they get close to catching up, so that was when they would do like the filler arcs. But it's been ahead of the anime. There were times where they were like very close to each other, and there's times where it's about a year out, which kind of makes sense. It takes a while to make an episode, but that's like, oh, why did they come up with this whole like island and shit that doesn't exist at all in the manga, and like these characters we'll never see again? Like, why did they do any of this? It's like, oh well, because they didn't know what to make at this point, because the manga wasn't ready. And it's, if it takes, let's say, 8 weeks to put an episode like together and get it put out, and they don't have a chapter to adapt, and they kind of needed to wait till there was more stuff, so they would just come up with things, as opposed to how you do it now, which is like, we're gonna do a 20 episode season and we're gonna adapt it like the best way possible, and we're just gonna put it out in chunks. This is a show that's basically perpetually on. It's on almost every week of the year. Like,
It's like Friends.
I mean,
Right? Friends last forever.
yeah.
It lasted
What?
10 years. It lasted 10 years, and it
That's
was
It
on
what
for
lasted
half of the
10
year.
years. It's over.
That's forever.
I think she means that it's on forever at my parents'
It's like
house.
The Simpsons.
Because it's always on at my parents' house. So maybe that's what. Maybe you think they're just watching cable, and you're like, "Oh my god, Friends is every show on cable."
Is this just a camera into a live
Friends and
apartment?
Harry Melba on MSNBC, and that's all that's
That's it.
playing. It's MSNBC and Friends, and that is all that is on TV in my parents' house.
That
The
is-
occasional episode of The Simpsons
All right,
and
I'm
Die
ready.
Hard.
And
That's the show
Housing
that never ends.
Hunters.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons is actually, yes, exactly, Dan, an apt example of a show that is on year round forever here in America. But anyway, I digress.
I
All right,
knew
we
you
can
were going
move
to
on
say
from
I
One
I
Piece.
knew
Move
that
on
I
from One Piece.
digressed. was
I
coming out of your mouth.
digressed. Well, what was I meant to say? I had digressed.
I digest.
I don't know.
Sometimes when I'm done with a sentence and I'm like in a big meeting with a lot of people I don't know that well, I just go, done.
No.
Yo, yeah, I do that.
Wow. I wish I could just be like done with taking testimony of someone and just be like done.
Oh, done.
Done.
But
Thank
Tuna,
you.
I
Wait,
make the
Tuna,
gesture.
what's stopping
I make
you?
the gesture. Done.
Yeah, what's stopping you, bud?
Reputation.
Oh.
I don't want to be the guy that screams done
You
at the
don't
end
be
of
the
it.
done guy?
Oh, this guy, he's the done.
Oh, here we go.
Listen,
The done one.
I'm very, very good at public.
Has anyone played anything?
Yeah, Dan, did you finish Until Dawn?
Oh,
No, because I was playing as Dusk Falls.
As done.
Oh shit, as Dusk Falls.
What is that one?
That's
I played
the
it-
one we
I played another
We
chapter.
played it. The cop
What is it?
people in the motel.
this-
I picked a
it's
different
like-
interactive
Ooh,
horror.
I
game.
don't
It's kind of
like
like a
that
pick
game.
interactive drama
your
game.
decisions in the story. Based,
Remember?
thing.
Yeah, I
The
don't
story's
like
kind
it.
of dark. It's like there's like a hostage situation. You got to make certain decisions, and they may or may not result in certain people living or dying.
Huh.
And played chapter 3 and then saving some more for Tuesday again. So,
Bing, bang,
but
boom.
yeah, it's fun because Twitch chat can vote on the in the Twitch chat. You can vote on like what decision we make, and it registers in the game. So
Wait, what? Twitch
like,
can tell
it-
you what to do, or
so like
or-
in the Twitch chat, like the decisions on
Yeah.
the screen pop up, and you're like, okay, type in number 1, number 2, or number 3, and then people in the chat can be like number 2, and then it shows you like who voted for
You
each
can,
thing, and if
yeah,
there's
you
a
can
tie,
link.
it does like a roulette thing. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, he links his Twitch account to the game, so it's all automatic.
Yeah.
So does it pop stuff up in the chat too?
No, but like I'll just say it out loud because it's like 30
Sure, yeah.
seconds anyway
Yeah.
for people to get them in.
And you can play with your phone as well, Tuna. Like if you have a bunch of people around, you can play with a big group. And
So
they
it's
don't
like Jack in the
everyone
Box.
is it's kind of like Jack in the Box, but it's a choose your own adventure hostage
In the box.
situation.
It's just
I wasn't
Jackboxing
gonna say
turds.
Oh, it is just Jackbox.
Yeah,
It's
Jack in the
Jackbox?
Box. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Jack in the
Jack
Box
in the Box
is a
is
fast
the
food
What's wrong with
restaurant.
Jack in the Box?
That's
It's
It's
a
not
fast
a
food
real
place.
thing.
You got my meaning.
I did, but I wasn't going
Well-
to say anything. And then Chris
wasn't
and
gonna say
Dan
anything.
were like,
I wasn't going to say anything. I
you
was
both
gonna-
made it. You both reacted, and that's
This
well,
is
because
like-
I'll be
this is
honest,
like-
I was waiting for Dan to say something because that's
I was
Dan's
half paying
move.
attention.
It's
So I was
Dan's
like,
MO.
I am adding to this podcast procrastination.
I know.
You-
You're
you
leading
got
the
what I was-
charge, maybe.
this is
Podcast
ridiculous.
is procrastination.
You got what I was talking about, though.
I
didn't-
am
You
playing.
didn't say it
games
wrong
of-
though, Alex.
I am playing new games
What?
too.
You didn't say it wrong, Alex.
No, I did say it wrong. I thought.
No, Tom said Jack in the Box.
What did I say?
You said Jack Box. Tom said Jack in the Box.
Oh, I said Jack in the
No,
Box.
false.
I
Tuna
think
said
I
it
said it
first.
wrong,
Tom
too.
Tom
repeated
definitely
it.
said Jack in the
I
Box.
repeated somebody. I was
Maybe
half paying
maybe I
attention.
missed Alex saying it, but Tom definitely said Jack in the Box.
Well, there we go.
Hundo P.
Are you
Well,
enjoying
Everyone
it,
knows the
Dan?
Jack in the
Oh,
Box.
there we
song.
go.
Are you
Jack
enjoying as
In
Dusk
the box
Falls?
goes round.
Are you enjoying as Dusk Falls? Is it hooking you?
No, I mean, yeah, pretty deep in the game now. Like, it's interesting because I think the first part of the story's over now, so they're gonna skip to a little later on. Because where I'm at in my particular game, certain people have died, so like that part of the story's done. But the survivors, I guess, will feature more of them moving forward. Because I'm like, I guess it's like at least 6 chapters story, and I'm only through 3, so. I don't know. It's been fun though. Having some fun with it mainly because chat keeps choosing the most ridiculous options possible.
Oh no. No wonder you've got some.
on
Is there like a
purpose
fail
dying
state
on you.
from your decisions or no?
What does that mean?
Like, can you pick stuff and then your game is just going to end because you made bad choices?
I don't think so. I think it just
I don't
continues in
think so,
different
yeah.
ways.
Okay.
You certain characters it ends for,
Sure.
but you're kind of playing as all of them. So
Okay.
Hmm.
Are you playing any new Fall Guys stuff?
is there any new Fall Guys stuff?
I thought so. I thought there was a new.
We
I went
played
on
it.
today and it was the same shit it's been for the last few weeks. Just a new Fame Pass, but it's the same
Okay.
exact thing.
It's just a new
4 days
Fame
ago.
Pass.
Yeah.
I thought the new Fame Pass was just going to coincide with new content.
No, they
but
did
that's-
at least a 3-part Fame Pass this time, so you got to pay 3 times unless you just saved up the show bucks like I did. So very nice of them to fit 3 seasons into one payment wise.
Very nice.
they
anything
gotta
else?
they gotta get that money.
Fucking jerks. Vault half the game away and charge more. It's 3 times the money. Perfect. Great way to grow the game.
Well, I think
I
Brooke's
think
here.
we've come to that
We should
time.
hear about Diablo 4.
Hello.
For what?
From me?
Well, from
Well,
us,
from the two of you, because
Yeah.
you're the
From
only
the two
two
of
here that
you,
have played
from the
it.
Diablo 4 experts.
No one else here
Do
has
you
played
have
it.
do you have any smoke and we can like make this a real event?
Hold on, I got fired. Does that count?
Can
Do
you
we
make the
have some-
background? Can you pull the green screen up and like make this look like hell behind us while we talk about
You
this
could take a
game?
puff
Hold
of
on,
your
I got
thing
this.
and blow
I
it
got
in
this,
front of
Brooke.
the camera.
Here you go. You can keep talking. This is a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
flame.
hell.
That's not a real thing. Anyway,
Yes.
so like I want everybody to visualize behind us the inner walls of a person's corpse. Okay, that's what the hellscape looks
It
like.
yeah, the hellscape
It
is kind of like
does.
hell.
you-
Hell in the game is like stitched together corpses.
It's like
It's
corpse.
very like
skin.
HR Geiger.
It's
Yeah.
like somebody
yes,
like
it is. Yeah.
taxidermied a person, sewed them all outwardly together.
Also, like skin walls. That, like,
Yes. So rolling your eyes at me like I'm talking out
I
my
didn't
ass.
roll my eyes.
Anyway, and it is slimy. Okay. And that is like the vibes of this game in the hell space. There's
Mhm.
also several landscapes, which I didn't understand because at first we were playing and I thought that like the game took place over time, where it was winter and then spring and then summer and then fall. No. It's different places in this like little fake universe. Cool. Human taxidermy, the other white meat. Oh, that was just is that you, Tuna?
That's me.
What?
No, it's Dan. That's Dan's.
Wise? Okay, that's excellent.
All right, keep talking about the other. So we've been playing Diablo. We've been playing it almost every day that we have a chance.
Yeah.
And we beat it last night. The campaign, at least.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crushed it. I dodged and ducked and died.
Yeah,
I
but Brooke,
called my
I was.
ravens.
I'll tell you this: the final fight. We were playing on the highest difficulty we could, which is World Tier 2, and that
Mhm.
final fight, I was very impressed. Brooke really took to the game. I'm actually kind of
Took to the game.
yeah,
did really
super
good.
into it. Like what the one being like, can
Okay.
we play Diablo tonight? Like wanting to like play like
My finger movements have become so good at the controller. Like
Mhm.
when we first started playing games together, it was very difficult for me. I think simply because when I started playing games, I didn't have to do anything besides press A or B. And maybe a ground pound,
Okay.
which is one trigger. Done.
Right.
That was all I ever had to do. And now we're playing all these games, and it's like, well, you need to like ground pound and move the camera and do this and like make sure that you have health and like click this button to make
Right,
tornadoes.
constantly be
Blah blah
healing.
blah blah blah. So when we started a few years ago, it was very difficult
playing video games. Yes,
in
yes, that
general,
was
right?
years
And
ago.
then I think we've come to a point where like we know what kind of game works for me. I cannot move the camera and I cannot multitask. I cannot move the camera and fight. I can fight.
Well, what do you mean you can't multitask? I thought you were like an amazing multitasker.
Yeah, I thought you
I'm
that was like
good
your
at the
special power, was
Diablo.
multitasking.
Only in real life fuckers, not in video games. So I can.
Where do you think video games are?
Wait, that should be the quote for
That's in the-
this episode. Only in real life, fuckers, not in video games.
Listen,
Yeah,
in the video game realm, it is one or the other. I can
listen.
move the
I think you
camera
just
and
got
walk.
called out. You got to wake up pretty pretty early in the morning to get one past these guys.
But I think even though, like, yes, you've improved since you started kind of playing video games, but even from the beginning of playing Diablo, like where you were with like the controls and the character, to fighting in the final boss fight last night, like you were dodging all the moves, you understood like when to heal, when to use your abilities.
She made a pattern, and that's
Right.
why it became easy, because she did the same shit over and over again.
Well,
and I was like, oh,
how
this
it
is
works.
a pattern, and if I can remember the pattern, I can dodge the pattern.
That's
And
a
I
boss
think-
fight.
Yeah, that is
Dodge a wrench, you can dodge
how.
a ball.
That is a boss
Yeah,
fight.
that is
If
a
you can
boss
dodge
fight.
If you can dodge a
That
wrench,
is
you
the
can
only
dodge a
reason I
ball.
think I did so well, is that I figured that out, because
But it was good. The game, the story, I really enjoyed the story quite a bit.
yes, I agree. I like the demon shit.
The story was
And-
good. Good
Yeah,
story.
it's good. It's good.
10 out of 10.
And it gets
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
gets-
That's like
it
4
gets
times
re-
Tom's best rating.
I think it gets
Wow.
kind of like, because so much. So what's interesting is the first 3 acts, you can tackle them in any order, which was interesting.
Did
like,
we do that?
yeah, we didn't. We did it we did Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 because I thought it would be the best way to do it, and I think it is. It's not as free. Oh, don't need context here for this, but you can tackle the first 3 acts in any order. And you kind of meet characters in each of them, and then in Acts 4 and 5, you kind of bring all of those characters together and continue the story. So I think in Acts 4 and 5, like it gets much better because it's actually telling like something that's designed to be completed linearly. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with it, and the story. I thought the story was actually really compelling, and the first season of the content is coming out tomorrow, so we might check that out. But Brooke turned to me last night, because she's like never beaten a game like this where it's like, well, you don't finish when you're done with the story.
Yeah.
She was like, and I was like, oh well, they'll come. She was asking me, she was like, well, how do they explain like you're still doing stuff? I was like, they'll come up with some bullshit where it's like, oh, her minions are still hanging about, and you got to clear up the thing and all this.
Yeah, I like
So-
when things have an end.
Oh, well, are you still playing Zelda?
Yeah.
Because
She's
that
playing
game
it
never
every
has
now and
a real end.
Yeah.
I have it, and I putz with it when I have a lot of time to kill.
Yeah.
But I think that it is a game I will probably never really feel inspired by. Not to be like a turd about it, but like,
Oh, that's good though, because if you're like in a position where you aren't trying to savor that game, then you can
You
just
savor the
like
turd
focus
instead.
on the story bits and just play the best parts of it.
I just like to fight the Bobgoblins.
The Bob Goblin.
Bobgoblins is what she calls them. Is my Bob.
That's
Goblin.
really like
that would
the
be a great
highlight
name
of
for
that
like a
game for
chibi
me.
Zelda.
Bob Goblin.
Yeah.
I'm Bob Goblin.
But that's my favorite part about that game. But this game was great, the Diablo game, because it felt directed. I knew where to go and why I was going there. Probably because I had a guide. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have to. She'd be like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "Well, this person needs us to go do this, and then we have to go find this and all this." Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool that I got to build my character and make him a handsome man. And
I didn't realize you get to design the characters in this one.
yo,
There's
let
a
me
little
tell
bit
you,
of-
let me
little
tell
bit
you
of
about
character
my
customization.
let me tell you about my character.
Yeah.
He is a sturdy gentleman,
Yeah.
A druid.
broad,
Nice.
He's a
Probably-
gentleman or a broad?
Nice.
a sturdy broad, probably tanking 300 plus pounds. He's
Nice.
a big guy. Okay, so he's a big, broad gentleman, tattoos on his face, a nice little like man bun situation, and he's a druid, and he can call the
A
ravens.
man bun. Shocker.
He can call
Sorry.
ravens and make tornadoes and lightning and lift the rocks from the earth.
Hmm
I named him Slate. And
Great.
Oh my god.
Does he leave a trail of pebbles behind him as he walks?
no, Chris. He leaves a trail of blood because he's
Oh,
aware.
okay, of
Because he's
course.
aware bear. So
Aware.
Bear.
Is that like a
Yes.
barbarian style character? What kind of character is that? What is
he's
that
a
class?
druid. He's a druid.
Oh, okay.
They can shapeshift into either a werebear or a werewolf, depending on the ability, and then
So-
they have like lightning attacks and wind attacks and shit like that.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
It was cool.
Yes, I'm very useful. And I have this
And cool in animals. Like she has like a raven, like
I
a
told him
circle
about
of...
the ravens.
Oh, you told him. Sorry. I was pulling up the news.
And I can bring vines behind I have this like vine it's not a creature, I just think it's like vines.
No, it's if you
Just
read the
6-second
lore of the
videos.
ability, if you read the if you read the lore of the thing, it is
An animal?
it's kind of like an animal.
Okay, so this vine snake sucks under the ground. It follows me around like this.
That's dope.
And if somebody that's a bad person hits the vine snake, they lose health and they get damaged. But I can also use my vine snake to like wrap these fucking assholes. And it individually wraps each of them like, and it sucks the life out of them, and they have to stay there for 8 seconds. And then I can cast the tornadoes, and then the tornadoes hit the vine sucked motherfuckers, and then I cast my ravens on top of that, and it's just like a fucking spider web, and they are not doing too well after I make that fucking sauce pot.
Very nice. I feel like now if you unlock the Yip Yip feature in our avatar game, you have the perfect animal. You can either get a murder of crows, or you could get a vine snake that follows you around,
Or a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more
crow
input.
snake.
I have crow snake. Like, what is he? I'm gonna sketch that fuck out. Like, what's he look like? Okay, I asked him a few weeks ago. I was like, if you could have an animal follow you around, similar to Avatar, where it's like combination two animals, what would it be? And what was your answer? I asked you in the car. I said mine would be like a manta ray, but a raven, and they fly, but they could dive into the ocean.
A manta raven.
Cool.
A manta
Cool.
ray?
Manta raven's good.
A raven? A maven?
No, I think a manta raven.
Manta raven was so much better. I don't know. What
I don't know why you felt like
Or a sting raven. You could be a sting raven.
Oh, sting raven.
Sting
It's a different animal,
But it's
Okay.
good though.
But those were the vibes. You had something you don't remember, it's fine. But anyway, that's like what okay, so I was getting at is that we're playing Diablo. I also play D&D with another group of people besides you turds. And it's like real D&D where I have to like
turds.
yeah, but like in the nicest way. Like sweet
it?
poops. Yeah, sweet poops.
Oops.
So I was explaining to my D&D people yesterday that like playing this
Who are your D&D people?
A cousin.
my cousin, his friend John, who's in a band, Andres, and Evan.
Hold on. So why did you specify that John's in a band if there's no other John?
I just feel
Nice,
like I
Dan,
need to
nice.
say these things.
Nice.
Double chin. Okay. Okay, but anyway, those are the people. And I'm a druid in that game too. But playing Diablo has benefited my D&D game. Because I think it has helped me think of the moves in a way where I can like translate them to this fucking stupid D&D app game.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And that is my TED Talk.
Hell yeah.
Thanks
Done.
for coming.
Done.
Done.
Thumbs arena.
The expansion content that's coming for that, Tom, is it included? Do you have to pay for that? How's that work?
I mean, you have to buy you can play the seasonal content, but like if you to get the battle pass and everything, yeah, you need to buy that. But you don't need to buy this season.
Yeah.
The one thing you do have to do though is you do have to and this is the way that Diablo 3 did it as well. You have to create a new character for each season.
Okay.
But
Would you still be a lady?
maybe.
Luck be a lady.
But no, I don't think to
Night.
participate in the seasonal content you need to buy anything additionally.
Okay.
And the way it works is that the world you have, I think it's called the Eternal Realm, which is like the base game world, and then you have like a separate the seasonal realm,
Sure. Of
and
course.
you play, of course, and then you play as that character, and then once the seasonal content is done, that character transfers to the Eternal Realm, and you can play them there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna wait for this to end up on Game Pass because Microsoft's gonna be buying that company, and
Oh, yeah.
probably by early next year it'll be on Game Pass, and then I'll be able to play it with whatever extra content is out and any bug fixes there were, and then.
And I was excited by the teasers of additional, like, where the story is headed. I was quite I wouldn't say a twist in the end, but like exciting, like setup for where the story could go. It didn't wrap up as it simultaneously. It wasn't a cliffhanger because like the story of the campaign was like done and dusted.
Okay.
But it kind of set up like where some choices some specific characters make that are like open-ended and like, oh, I like I can see what where this is gonna go.
A sloppy Christmas bow.
A what?
Like a sloppy bow, like when you use a phrase.
Oh, sloppy bow.
And I wrapped it
Got
with a
it.
bow and it's done.
No.
It was a sloppy bow.
Okay, that makes sense. That's all I
Thank
make.
you.
I don't make nice bows.
You don't make
my-
nice bows?
No, they're not
You
good.
make
not?
rainbows?
I don't know. They
They
always look
probably
like-
they
always
probably
look nice.
offer a class at AC Moore.
Eh.
And by
At
that I
who?
mean and by that I mean Michael's. I think AC Moore doesn't exist anymore.
I've never heard of AC
Yeah, we
Moore. I've
do
heard
have
of
What are you
Michaels.
talking about? AC Moore.
Never heard of AC Moore.
AC
No.
Moore was a craft store. It used to be Michael's competition, and then Michael stepped up the game, kind of like Borders and Barnes and Nobles.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm, mhm,
Mm.
Mm.
Do you think that if we all went at the
Oh, we've
same
done that
time,
before. We've
it could
done
be
that. We literally-
it could
wow.
be recorded?
What do you mean
I
it could
mean,
be
it
recorded?
definitely
Why wouldn't it
recorded.
be recorded?
It could be used as like a laugh track.
If we all went
Mm.
at the same time, I feel like that's not a laugh.
Yeah, but like it would be like a.
Oh boy.
I was wrong. It was a laugh.
Ah.
I want to talk about a game I've been playing. I downloaded, played, and beat one of my favorite games of the year. Viewfinder came out yesterday. It is so fucking fun. This
Yeah, it looks
game
cool.
falls into the pantheon of physics first-person puzzlers like The Witness, Portal, Maquette, which came out I think like in the first year, launch year maybe of PS5. The easiest way I would describe it is, well, I mean, I'll just say what you're doing. You're finding photographs on these. Have any of you played Monument Valley?
Yes.
Yes.
phone. So the levels look kind of like Monument Valley. Alex, they kind of look like 3D Fez levels a little bit. Like they're
Okay.
these three-dimensional structures you're walking around. But it plays a lot with perspective. So sometimes you have to like look at things in a specific perspective, and they may actually like change in the 3D world if you line them up. So like your actual character perspective can change the world that you're in. But there are the primary crux of the game is you're picking up photographs or paintings or pictures, and you're holding them out in front of you and lining them up in ways so that you can then, let's say like I had a photo of a bridge and I wanted to get to the, like, there's this gap between things. I can hold it up and then like place it into the world. And now that bridge is in the world. But then there's other things that are like paintings and pictures that you can like actually like go into. And there's like
Remember
items you have to
Scribblenauts?
find and things like that. I do remember Scribblenauts.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Did you have a question, Brooke?
That was
No,
it.
she was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Is this?"
I feel like I
I've
know what
I've
this
shown her
is.
this game, and so
Oh,
she was like,
okay,
"Is this the
okay.
game, Crystal?"
Because she had her hand up. I wasn't sure. Like, I was like, oh, is she like just trying to politely like not interrupt and ask a question?
Well, this isn't like fucking Google Zoom chat where I can just click the hand raise emoji.
No, we can do that.
No, we
Wait.
can do that. We
can
do. This
that.
is Zoom.
This is Zoom.
Do they have the? No.
Yeah, reactions.
Okay, can you click the hand one?
Oh, recognize hand gestures. Oh, never mind.
Okay, that was I had a question, Chris. If it was, did you show this to us when you visited?
Oh,
Or-
it came out yesterday.
Then how
I
do I
sho-
know what it is?
I showed you it.
Like a trailer, probably.
Yeah,
There we go.
There you go.
I was. It was a TikTok or something. It was like,
Got it.
There's also
Anyway.
like you get like a camera, so there'll be like I need to solve this puzzle to like get through the different teleporters. So I will take pictures of things to like construct it. It's really fucking cool. It's like, you know, you're playing like a magic trick. The puzzles I think are a little bit easier than I would have liked, which is fine. And I bet there's people that probably don't like the way the story's conveyed through like a lot of audio logs. But the thing is, you don't actually have to play them. You can just you know, you could just walk past them. You don't have to do.
Is there
the
even like a
logs and
story
stuff.
worth?
There's
okay.
Yeah, it's fine. The story's fine, but it's all about the gameplay. The game's only like 6 hours long. It's really fun. There's only like a handful that were like, yeah, yesterday and then today.
Sure.
But it's great. It was great. It's one of my favorite kind of gaming experiences where you're like, I downloaded a game, I played it in like 2, maybe 3 sessions, and it was done, and that's it. There's not going to be DLC. You know, it's not a game as a service. I don't need to talk about this at long length. It was a very fun, really good puzzle game. It's great. Everyone should play it.
Is it a part of PS Plus?
No.
Okay.
No. I had it on my wish list. I didn't even realize it was coming out already. I remember it was at like, you know, there was a trailer for it like a couple months ago or something. And I was like, this looks amazing. I put it on my wish list. Looked at my phone yesterday. It was like, it's out. I was like, fuck.
There it is.
I know it's not true because there's definitely some stuff, but I feel like the answer to, oh, that sounds like a really good game, isn't on PS Plus is always no. Like, I feel like PS Plus doesn't give us a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, every now and then there was, but it's not as good as it was since they changed their tiers of stuff.
Yeah.
Same with like Xbox. It was like, you know, like Gold was awesome for a little bit, and then Game Pass came out. And basically, after the first year of Game Pass, Gold has just been like an embarrassment. Like,
well, Gold doesn't exist anymore.
I know. Well,
well, yeah. In a way.
In a way,
it doesn't. It still exists, I think, until September. I think that's when that.
Yeah, it's not an immediate thing.
So, let's do some.
But then we're still won't be on. The 4 of us still won't be on it because we'll just still probably be the ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it, Tom.
Yeah, so games with Gold and Xbox Live, actually, the whole Xbox RIP Xbox Live, it is turning into something called Xbox Game Pass Core. So now there's going to be Xbox Game Pass Core, and then there's Game Pass Console and PC, and then Ultimate, which combines the two. So this is replacing the Xbox Live Gold service. So it's going to give you online capability. The really only thing that is changing is that games with Gold, you're not getting these monthly drops of games like they were doing. Instead, they're going to give you a selection of 25 titles from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda and some third-party stuff that will be in this service.
I'm gonna call it Xbox Softcore.
Okay, I like that. And then hardcore for
and
Ultimate.
hardcore, because hardcore you see everything. Softcore not as much.
There you go. That's true. So the list here, I mean, the heavy hitters, you got Doom Eternal in there, Forza Horizon 4, not 5. No Halo Infinite. You got Halo 5 though in there. So some of that older stuff. So yeah. So if you are an Xbox game, and this is game Xbox Gold Live member, this will be happening September 14th. New titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year, is what they say. So there you go. So that will, but you know, just get regular Game Pass, I think.
Yeah. Which, while you can still buy live, converts for a lot cheaper than buying a bunch of Game Pass. And if you're set to expire your Game Pass anytime soon, you should allow it to expire before this happens and convert. Just buy a bunch of live cards and then convert it, because you'll be able to like stack out your Game Pass for really cheap. Yeah.
Before September.
Yeah. So what else we got? Anything else happening in the news?
Not really. We talked about FTC stuff last week, about how that.
Yeah.
The FTC. Yeah.
Microsoft's going to buy it. There might be other concessions that'll happen, but it's going through at this point, right? Like, that's what it seems like.
Yep. Yeah. So really, not much other news beyond that. Pikmin 4 reviews are out.
Oh, I didn't realize. When does that come out? Or is that-
like this Friday or
Oh,
like
okay,
this
wow.
week or something or next week. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
hear it's gonna be the most Pikmin game since Pikmin 3.
You would
That's
think.
very
Probably
true.
true. Yeah.
You would think.
I would
You would
probably-
think.
Although they did re-release the original Pikmin.
That
for
wasn't
the
his Pikmin.
Switch.
Or it's I don't know if that came out yet. Did that come out?
I think so.
Mm.
I think it did, but could be wrong. Don't know for sure. Great. Well, then, do you want to do some mail?
What's in the mail today?
Email at unrankedpodcast.com. Email at unrankedpodcast.com. Go to our Discord, questions for the pod, or you can call in to 805-738-8692 or a voicemail. You can play one of those right now.
Hey, Unranked Podcast. It's Psych Mike coming at you live through the power of cellular technology. I was calling to see if you guys were to design a Battlebot, what kind of weapon would you add to your Battlebot? Also, I'm calling through my phone's microphone. I'm outside, so we'll see how this sounds. All right, stay unranked and suck it.
A BattleBot, like a robot that
Yeah.
battles an arena.
You know BattleBots, the show.
Vaguely.
You know what? You know, it was a sick show. Junkyard Wars.
Yo,
Junkyard Wars is
Junkyard
cool. Yeah,
Wars.
Junkyard
Fuck
Wars.
yeah, dude.
Junkyard Wars.
Junkyard Wars.
Did it have a theme?
Junkyard Wars. Yeah, that's
oh,
it.
I didn't know how to
I
theme.
thought the theme would have been like robot fighting in a junkyard, but
No, Junkyard Wars was fucking fantastic. You learned stuff, and it was a competition.
Junkyard Wars, robots and garbage.
Is the Iron
That's
Giant
good.
in the theme song?
Huh?
Is the Iron Giant in the theme song? He's a junkyard giant. BattleBot.
that's true. In the movie, he
That's
is
a
a
great
junkyard
movie.
giant.
I should rewatch that. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah,
Isn't
Iron Giant's
Vin
great.
Diesel the Iron Giant?
Yeah,
don't know.
Is he?
I believe
I think
Vin Diesel voices the
that's
Iron
true.
Giant.
Yes, I think
Is
that
Jeff
is true.
Goldblum
Yeah.
the sexy artist guy that builds them?
The what?
I didn't know there was a sexy artist.
I didn't know there was-
Everyone
yeah.
watched the movie.
The
Oh,
main the guy
Oh.
that built the guy that like owns the junkyard where the Iron Giant lives
Yeah.
looks like Jeff Goldblum. Is he the voice of the character?
I
No,
have
the
not
Iron
watched that
Giant is
movie
Vin
in so
Diesel.
long.
It is Vin Diesel.
The Iron Giant is Vin Diesel, but it appears that maybe Harry Connick Jr. might be who you're talking about.
The guy with
that
the
character?
glasses
Or
and,
James
and
Gammon?
the black hair.
I know, but I don't know his name, the character's name, so I'm just guessing based on actors. But I don't
Yeah.
see see him
Jeff
anywhere on the
Goldblum's not
cast.
in it.
That's a disappointment to realize
Jennifer
that.
Aniston is, weirdly, which I didn't know.
Maybe she's the mom because
She
it's the
has to be. She's
son
the only
and the
woman I've seen
mom.
with-
Yeah,
Oh,
she
she's
is.
not the
She
only-
is the mom.
It's either her or Cloris Leachman, who is very old. So
Cloris
no.
Leach.
But he would be a junkyard giant robot, BattleBot. He takes care of the whole earth, battling it out.
That's true.
And it's
But
all
this
about
is, so this is so for BattleBots. It's like the TV show. Have you seen BattleBots, Brooke?
No, I don't really
They're
think
like
I have.
they're like drone, like little RC cars.
Yeah,
Same
it's an actual like. I believe it takes place. I think either in the Mission or like Sanford. It's
yeah, it's like a robot building competition that you build the robot and they battle each other.
yes, and they have different
BattleBots.
weight classes, but there are
BattleBots.
certain rules. Like you can't have like magnetic weapons. You can't have like a gun. You can't have you can't have like
Just like a
electric.
human goes out back.
Yeah.
Can you
That would
have
be
like?
amazing, though.
Can
You also
have
can't
a-
have flamethrowers or any kind of like electricity.
Wait, no, they've had
weapons.
flamethrowers.
I
Can
think
you have
maybe
water?
they've had
water
fire.
weapons,
I don't think you can have water weapons either. There's
right? That would
there's a
fuck with the
handful
No,
of
battle
you can't
things
do that. I
that-
don't think you can do water.
that
I think
you
fire
can't
was okay,
do.
though.
maybe they can do fire. Like the classic BattleBots are like, some things will have either like some, like some kind of hammer or something that like
Yeah.
drops down
Or a wedge,
punches
or a
forward.
buzzsaw.
Yep, the
Yeah.
wedge, a buzzsaw. But then there are a lot of like really interesting weird ones. Man, that would be cool.
Weird how? Like, what does that mean?
So we didn't have
Creative.
we didn't have BattleBots in England, but we had Robot Wars was our version of BattleBots, and I've seen BattleBots. I think Robot Wars is a
It's-
much better show.
It probably was the original, if I had to guess, based on
I
everything we
think
do here.
I think it is like the original one of these shows. They also had this thing. I don't think BattleBots had this, but they had like 4 robots in the corners of the arena that were like manned, and like extreme robots that were manned by.
Oh yeah, no, BattleBots did not have that.
And if a robot got pushed into one of the corners, then this robot could come out and fuck them up. During the best era of Robot Wars, when it was at its peak, there were 3 robots that were like the robots. One of them had a like pneumatic flipper that was so powerful that like if it got under anything, it was game over.
Like a spatula.
Yeah, like a spatula thing. Then there was Hypnodisc, which had a spinning disc with razor blades all along the outside, and it tore through shit.
Yeah.
And the best finale was when those, because they go through, I don't know if BattleBots is this way, but it's bracketed.
BattleBots
so like
is the US version of Robot Wars, by the way.
There we go.
That makes sense.
So
It just makes sense.
the finale of that season was I forget the flipper name one.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that, and then it was up against Hypnodisc, and Hypnodisc got some really good hits in. But then once that flipper got under it, it was game over, and Hypnodisc lost. And the next season, Hypnodisc came back, and it had a pneumatic arm on it, so that if it flipped, it could right itself.
Like a turtle.
And then it won that season because it could do that.
Did it
And
get a
then
spin-off called Everybody Loves Hypnodisc?
I mean, everyone did love Hypnodisc.
Is this how they invented the Roomba, by like making all these BattleBots, and then
I
they
gotta
like,
pull them up.
we need something that is
The
a
BattleBots
BattleBot
is still
but
on
vacuums.
TV, Tom. They're doing new
Yes,
BattleBots still.
yes.
So they're way more advanced now and way more interesting. Especially,
Oh, I'm
like,
sure,
yeah,
right?
They're
Yeah.
awesome now. They don't do the BattleBots in the US. They don't do the like we have like 4 like battles in like other robots in the arena. They just do we have on the corners and the sides of the arena saws that come out, spikes that hit you, like flames that show that like you can't just hide. And also like some of the ones that are more defensive built can try and just drive the other robot into those hazards and flip them over or cause them to die. I'm thinking if we're putting stuff on there, right? None of us are going to come up with anything functionally better than the things that these people have clearly come up with.
I mean, I want a flamethrower for sure.
Flamethrower, that's what you're going with?
I mean, that's what I would like. Yeah.
Why can't it have a claw?
I got one.
Claw's
Claw?
good.
Pilot light. And it looks like a pilot light, but it also flies because it's pilot.
There
Fuck
it is.
Dan.
Oh,
I
it's
thought
got a little
pilot
drone
light,
on it.
I thought
Yeah, it's
pilot
like a
light
drone
was
with fire
like
all around.
a gas ball.
There is, I think, a like
Mm.
drone version of BattleBots now too that people are doing. I don't know if it's included, but I've seen some of that where there's like drone
Oh, it looks
fighting
like a
now, which is fucking
scorpion.
sick.
That one's cool.
This was one of the house bots. So this is one that the show like controlled and would sit in a corner.
Can they see this, or are we just talking?
No,
about
we're
it?
just talking about
Okay.
it.
Sorry, you can't see. Let me describe it. Let me describe it to everyone.
Can they see it, or are we just talking
You
about
describe it. It's a
Okay.
okay, go ahead.
It's like a
The
robot
hou-
that's sitting in the corner.
The house bot is
It's called Dead
an
Metal.
azul blue color. It's really vibrant. It looks
I think
like
that's the lights reflecting off of it.
what's that beetle that has the mouth that goes like this?
Ringo Starr.
it? Nice.
No, it's like a bug.
Hercules.
The Hercules beetle.
Oh no, maybe that's the one with the thing. It's the one with the pincer.
The pincer beetle with the mouth that goes like this. It's not its mouth, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it has that in the front of it, and then its head, because it has no body, just like juts up like a couple of spikes, looking like a mermaid tail fin situation. And that's the vibe.
Well, it has the important thing is it has a buzzsaw going through the middle of its
Oh my
face.
God, is that what that is?
Yeah,
I've
this
never
is a
been more
buzzsaw.
confused about how something looks in my life.
So it's
Close your eyes and think about it.
so it's a pincer, right? It's a pincer, so it holds the robot, and then it has a buzzsaw that can, while it's being held, can jut out.
That is
That's
pretty cool.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
That's pretty sick.
This one's got an axe.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would go. I love Razor. This one was sick, and I think I would
It looks like a shoe.
use this. It's like a scooper, and then it has like a kind of scorpion tail. So when it scoops and gets the robot in, it just goes like that, clamps down.
It looks like a fancy mule shoe. Like you slide your foot into it.
Oh, it has the most wins of any robot to compete on the show. There you go.
Oh my god, but nobody can see this.
Correct.
Correct.
I explained it. There you go.
Okay.
I think what I'd want to do
Yeah.
is try and like add something to the wedge, because the wedge ones are always very good and they're highly
Yeah.
defensive. So
Mhm.
I'd want to design something that's almost like a porcupine wedge system, where I'm going to drive sort of like long kind of nails into the opponent, so that then when I can push it into like the obstacles, like saws and things like that, it has stuff that it can get stuck on and like grab onto. So I'd want to have some sort of like needle system that I can just drive into the opponent, that they're not going to necessarily like pierce it and destroy it, but if I can attach things to it that could cause it to get fucked up, that's probably what I would try and do with that.
What about a guillotine Battlebot, where like it kind of just like roams around the outskirts, and then things can get trapped inside of it, and then you just chop them?
I mean, that'd have to be it'd be sick.
You'd
Be a
have to be
big-ass
fighting a really
Battlebot,
bad opponent
probably.
too.
Yeah.
What if it has like a reverse, those like automated floor escalators?
Mm-hmm.
What if it had a floor escalator
a
that
treadmill thing
sucked
on it,
up?
like-
Yeah, and it sucked up the other robots. Like if they got stuck on the treads, it sucked them in.
So it's a Roomba.
And then they get stuck, and then it guillotines them.
I mean,
Death
that'd be pretty
Roomba.
cool. I'm into that.
That one's fun. Danakama.
All right, I'm gonna go to a question. Questions for the pod in the Discord. The sheer number of game releases lately is a bit overwhelming, isn't it? It seems like there's barely any time to catch a breath between one launch and the next. This kind of pace may be manageable for those on summer break, but we all don't have that luxury. Did you write this, Tom?
No.
Hypothetically speaking, if you could choose just one more movie, show, and game to be released this year, what would you pick? Okay, so you only get one more thing that's like TV, movie, game that's going to come out. Which ones between what you're waiting on do you want? That's left.
One of each.
I guess that's
Barbenheimer for all
or if
three.
you don't have one for everything, then that's fine. You don't have to. I mean, if I can only watch one more movie, I'm sorry, Barbie, but I'm picking Oppenheimer.
I'm watching Barbenheimer, and I'm playing Barbenheimer, and I'm also going to watch.
Yeah,
Barbenheimer.
I'm going with Barb's
You're going Barb's over Oppenheimer?
big time. Oh yeah. No.
I mean, maybe you were. I don't know.
You know
True.
what?
No.
Yeah. You know what?
I've got
Love
tickets
good
for
Barb.
both, but if I had to pick one,
Are you doing it in the same day?
No, it's fucking stupid.
Fuck you.
We're doing it Saturday. We got
It's
a
too
big
much.
group
Which are you
going.
Too
seeing?
much.
Which are you seeing
It's too
first?
much.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer first, so that we can go out with a
Really?
drunk bang and see Barbie.
That is by far the most
I
popular
feel like you
option
gotta
from
see
what I've
Barbie
seen.
first, just like
No, you got
get
to wrap
into
up the
that
night.
dark mode where you're like, okay, I'm ready for some shit to go down.
No. We're gonna watch Oppenheimer, and then we're gonna go have some margaritas, and then we're gonna see fucking Barbie. And the crew is gonna strip in the parking lot and change their clothes. It's gonna be
Well,
perfect.
that's not one
Are
more
you sure?
game. Oh, it's tough because I really want to play Spider-Man 2.
No, this is about other games.
It is.
What?
The
What
other
game?
one, the D&D one.
What?
The D&D game.
Oh, Baldur's Gate. Brooke is like, what's the next game we should play? And I'm like, well, Baldur's Gate is coming out, and it's kind of like Diablo. So there you go.
That's not co-op, is it though?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
It's actual split screen rather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want to say Spider-Man 2, but I'm going to say Starfield is my
Yeah.
game.
Mm.
Are you interested in that, Tunes?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
It seems bit like I feel like I'm gonna be. It seems overwhelming already for me.
Sure.
So
Yeah. I'm waiting to see how it's received and to see how it performs. I actually might, this sounds stupid, I might say the Plucky Squire.
Hmm.
But
Great
if I could
choice.
only play one more game this year, that
The
game
who?
looks so much fucking fun.
You've
The
seen it.
plucky-
We've talked about it.
It's that
We have?
game, Alex,
Okay.
where like it's like the cartoon. They're like in the
Meg.
storybook, and then he jumps out into the 3D
Oh
world.
yes, that did look very cool.
Brooks
That did
picked
look-
Brooks picked a movie. What movie is what is the one movie that
Let's
if
hear
you
it.
could only watch one movie later this year, what is it? Go for it.
The Meg.
Oh, the Meg
Meg?
2.
The Meg 2.
Meg
The
2.
Meg 2.
The Meg 2.
Oh boy.
Yo, it's my favorite movie to binge watch.
Wait,
I've seen the Meg.
binge watch a movie.
Tuna, I will watch that movie
you
anytime
don't-
it's available. If I'm like having a work day and I need something on in the background, I put the Meg on.
Meg.
What is the Meg?
That giant fucking shark.
Oh my
movie.
god, it's a
Wait,
Megalodon.
really? It's a Megalodon.
It's a what?
The Megalodon.
What the
I
hell are
think
you
I
talking?
described it pretty well. As a
I
giant
literally
fucking
don't know what the
shark.
hell you're talking about.
It's
Almost.
It's like a
it's an
dinosaur
extinct.
shark.
It's an extinct dinosaur shark. It's a massive.
It's an extinct
Oh.
dinosaur shark. The buff guy from Fast and Furious, but not Fast and
Jason
Furious, is in it.
Statham.
And he's like a fucking scuba diver, but he's not, but he saves his day. And he makes sure some people die. It's a little upsetting. The fucking big shark crashes into the super underground aquarium. There's a
Mhm.
little girl in it. She's cute as fuck. And she's like, I saw something that's gonna kill my mom. And he saves the day. And towards the end of, and Dwight Schrute is in
Yeah,
it, which
and
is
he's a dick.
fantastic. He's a dick fuck.
Yeah.
And the best part of he gets eaten. Spoiler, sorry.
Wow, now I can't see it.
Wow. I just said I'd never
And-
seen it, and you just okay.
The
Sorry.
spoiler couple over there.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
The funniest,
I mean, yeah, that's
the
true.
funniest part is like towards the end of this movie, it's at this like beach scene where like there's a lot of tourists or like what people at a beach, and the Meg is like invading the oceans, and they're like, "Oh, there's a shark in the water!" And this like chubby little kid is in a floaty, and his mom is like, "Get out of the water!" And that happens, and then there's a chihuahua in the ocean, and like it's maybe not a chihuahua, but like a little tiny fucking yappy dog. And so many people fucking die
Mhm.
and get eaten by the Meg, but this yappy little fuck survives, and the lady is like, "Oh my god, thank you!" And like that dog, slobbering, soaking wet, comes out of the ocean. She's like, "Oh, my sweet baby boy." Magic.
I thought you were gonna say, and then the shark eats them both. or something.
No, the lady and her
It's a
little
fun
pooch
film. I like the
survive.
Meg a lot, actually.
I actually enjoyed it
solid
when I
shark-
watched it. It was funny.
It's a solid shark movie.
Yeah.
Solid.
I gotta take back my Oppenheimer pick.
Okay.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Tom, I was sitting here like, I'm pretty sure there's something actually like that's coming out that
Yeah,
it's just not Dune 2.
Dune
The
Part
fucking
2.
Dune Part 2, baby. Oh,
Oh,
Let's-
Dune
let's-
Part
oh,
2. Yeah.
let's
yeah.
go.
oh
Let's
my
fl-
god.
Chris, I was, we're coming in September, but I was like, can we fly out in October so we can go to that fucking IMAX theater at the
No.
Chinese theater? That theater was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable experience.
That's
Dune-
where I got my Oppenheimer tickets.
I'll say this: Dune Part 2 probably my choice. But when we went to go see Mission Impossible, the trailer for Scorsese's Killers of the What?
Mm.
What? The trailer for Killers
I
of the
have no idea
Flower
what's going on.
Moon?
What is happening?
I don't know. She just started laughing.
I didn't type anything in the chat this time. I have no idea.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the French girl in her interview with
Oh, Pomme Clementif, did you see this?
No.
describe Mission Impossible, and he goes, "Just sing this theme song."
It's an MTV. MTV had an interview with the cast of Mission Impossible, and they're
Okay.
interviewing Pomme Clementif, who is in
Uh-huh.
Mission Impossible.
She played
Mhm.
Paris.
She
Or-
played Paris,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Yes. Did you see it, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god.
What'd you think? No, not a
Great
fan.
action. The worst dialogue in the franchise So I'd probably
Wow.
say it's the second worst movie.
Oh
It
my
is-
god.
they-
Whoa.
Oof.
Fuck, Chris.
Oof. They taught the
Wow.
dialogue in that movie. They must think
Wow.
their audience is made of the dumbest people in existence.
Well, they're regular people, Chris.
No, it
So
feels
probably,
it
yeah.
feels like a script, and it was, Macquarie. There were two writers. It feels like the shit script, which is like you write the first script and then you go through and you fix everything. And a lot of times, the original draft is like very like exposition heavy and very matter of fact, and like there's no nuance. It feels like a lot of that script is left in the story when it comes to the dial. I mean, the amount of times you're like the key, the entity, the entity, the entity, but then it does that where like everyone is just doing this terrible dialogue, and then every now and then someone's performing like a soliloquy or speaking in like all of these fucking like metaphors and talking about it like it's this like beyond grand thing. Like, yeah, we've all seen fucking movies where there's rogue AIs. Like everyone knows what this is. Like we got it.
Where
And it
there's
was just
what
weird.
eyes?
And we're all
Wait,
scared of
Wait, where there's what?
Where there's a rogue AI. It's just
Rogue space AI.
it's
Yeah.
weird
Okay.
because
He's not
Rogue
saying
AI.
rogue AI is a word.
the Mission
I
Impossible
had
movies,
no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
the Mission Impossible movies always have some humor, but it's usually the plot has what you would call a comedy of errors, and that's typically where the humor comes from in a Mission Impossible. But this movie, I was laughing at the dialogue a lot, but weirdly and unfortunately, I wasn't necessarily laughing with the movie. I was laughing at the movie, and at times it felt like it was like a telenovela, like especially with the main like villain that they brought in, like he seemed like a telenovela character, and then they did all like some like retroactive stuff where they basically redesigned what the IMF was, which is like never how the story of the IMF was in all of the other
He
movies.
sucks all
They
the
came up
air.
with this
Different
like
thing,
prequel
different
story for Tom Cruise's character that like was never a thing, and they like
Sure.
like so they just like brought in all the, it was as if someone was just like, we're gonna make a new Mission Impossible movie, don't worry if it makes any sense with any of the other Mission Impossible movies. And thematically it just like felt very different. So action wise it was great, but I think the writing was really bad. I think the writing was really bad, but I also still enjoyed it. Like I had a good time watching
Yeah, it's
it,
a very enjoyable film.
but I would put it above 2, but none of the others.
Tom,
Well-
have you ever actually uttered the word movie? I feel like film is like.
Or
Have
cinema.
we
Cinematic
actually ever
adventure?
heard you say movie before?
I say movie all the time.
Yeah.
Do you?
I said movie earlier when I said the one movie that I would watch, it would be blah blah blah. Yeah.
All right.
What was I gonna say? Anyway, so that the interview is Pom Clementif, but she is getting all of her lines for the interview from Simon Pegg through a earpiece.
Oh, that's funny.
And so he's like, describe the plot of the film, but use hashtags as much as possible. So she's like, so we're in hashtag Rome. And then they talk about millennials. And she's like, are you a millennial to the interview? And she's like, I am. And then Simon Pegg goes, say, I hate millennials. One of them killed my dog.
But that's not the best. The best part is when Simon Pegg goes to Palm. The interviewer goes to Palm, can you just like leave us with some last words about the movie? And Simon Pegg goes to Palm, just sing the theme song. And she doesn't. She hums it.
Anyway, before we watched Dead Reckoning, the trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon, which is Martin Scorsese's film, came on.
Yeah.
And that looked great.
It looks good.
I'm very excited to see
Yeah.
that one. So that would be my backup, but Dune Part 2 is happening, so
Yeah,
I
it's gotta
can't
be
pick
Dune.
anything else.
Or Bird Box Barcelona.
Oh, well, that's Brooke's pick, because if you
What?
wasn't, they're doing a new Bird Box. She loved Bird
With
Bird Box
fucking
Barcelona.
Sandra Bullock.
I don't think Sandra
No.
Bullock is in it.
No.
Is it just going to be on Netflix?
I think so.
We will watch that
I
one.
saw it
already
seen the
there. I
first
saw
one.
Bird Box pop up on Netflix.
Wait,
it
Bird
might
Box.
be.
They're doing a second one. Like what are they franchising it? What's going on?
Well, it's in Barcelona, so it's
Barcelona.
know.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
It's kind of like, I think with the next Quiet Place, like it's probably going to be different.
Oh
people,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's
It's
Sure,
like
like
Quiet Place Day 1 or whatever.
it's
Yeah.
the same kind of thing.
Right.
That was a
Yep.
weird movie. Boy,
That's us.
girl.
No, it was great.
Which one?
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it, but it was also there were times where it sounded really stupid. Bird
Are you
Box.
talking about? Oh, Bird Box.
You
I
should
haven't
watch
seen that. I
it.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Should I add it to the list?
No. We're watching Constantine. It's good enough.
It's one of my favorites.
Brooke, because we watched all of the Mission Impossibles, Brooke is like, I get to pick the next 6 films.
That's
So we
fair.
got Constantine, V for
That is
Vendettas on there,
Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Hedwig and the Angry
okay.
Inch.
Therese picked High School Musical, which I had never seen, which I watched recently. And
Oh,
that
okay.
movie is,
Good
I did
for-
not know that this movie is like a parody. And if it's not a parody, then the writers are still making it a parody, even though it
A
wasn't
parody of
supposed to
what?
be.
What?
Of just
Musical high schools.
yeah,
Sure.
just the,
Heathers.
it's just
Heathers.
it's so tongue in cheek that it feels like it's a parody of itself at the time. It is
Sure.
honestly, I was laughing my ass off. It is such a fucking funny movie. That movie is so weird.
I was
and
about
crazy.
it when it came out.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. I'm
And
excited
the-
to watch the other ones now.
The tragic thing about High School Musical is it came out right around the time I moved to America. So I didn't really have the vibe of, like, it was like a month after we moved here. So I didn't really have the vibe of what people were about and like kids in America were about. So I
Yeah,
get
that's
to
gonna
school,
help you.
I got to school Monday and I was like obsessed with High School Musical, thinking everyone, and like, yeah, it did not. I mean, look, it got me some kudos with the girls.
Yeah.
I thought you
But,
were saying something else, which is in the same end of the word, the end of the sentence. And I was like, what word is he going for? Like, coup. And I was like, what the fuck?
Cooties. It got me some kudos with the
Not the word I
girls,
was
but
thinking.
yeah, the lads were not about it. But yeah.
I never saw it. Or
It's
any of them.
I had
enjoyed
never
it.
seen it. I asked Teresa, I was like, it's your turn to pick. What do you want? She was like, High School Musical. And
Wow. Okay.
I was like, all right.
The
Honestly,
songs are
it was
fun.
great. It was so funny. It's a funny fucking movie. The characters are insane. The people that are in that movie are crazy.
Sure.
It's great. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was gonna,
likes to bake.
I thought I was gonna just be like miserable for an hour and a half watching that movie.
Now you got to watch High School Musical the series.
I'm excited to watch the second movie because she said that one has something in it that's like really unhinged. So
Oh, it's definitely more unhinged than the first. I never even got around to seeing the third one, but
I mean, I'm also like, I took like an edible before I watched
sure,
it, like, which
sure,
I'm
yes,
gonna do
yes.
for the next
Yes,
one too. So
probably a good idea. I think she's probably talking about the Zac Efron song in the second one, which is memed to hell.
Probably.
Tuna and Dan, what are your movies and games? You got one more.
I gave my shitty answer.
I mean, I don't go to the movies, so.
But you
does it-
watch movies.
Yeah, but like, yeah, all right, fine. So one that I could stream
Sure.
when it comes
Bird
out.
Box. Bird Box
Yeah,
Barcelona.
Bird Box. I'll go with Miss Rachel's new video that's coming out at the end of the
I was
month.
gonna go with that.
The
the
video-
only thing you're gonna be watching though is Pentatonic's Sesame
Right.
Street on repeat.
Right, we're gonna be taking her to Pentatonics pretty soon. And then also the video game tie-in for the Miss Rachel Goes to School on the NES. Can't wait.
10 out of 10.
Someone went back in time and made it.
Mm-hmm. They emulated it. It's great.
I'm gonna throw in for my TV show, One Piece live action. I'm very excited for that. It's probably gonna be bad.
TV show's tough because I don't know what's actually gonna exist this fall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the stuff that's coming out in the fall. I don't know. That's a good point.
some maybe.
Some of it's not gonna be ready.
I saw something I want to see. There was like a preview for it, and I can't remember what the fucking thing was. It might have been on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think it's a movie. It could be a series though, about like the Beanie Baby founders.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That looked great. It's got
Yeah.
the actress that played Shiv in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's got a decent cast, and it
Yeah.
looked funny. So
I did watch.
Isn't Johnny Galecki the guy?
Oh, maybe I didn't catch that. If it
Zach
was.
Galifianakis is in it as well.
Oh, Galifianakis is in that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I
just
Kind
saw a
of
small preview.
unrecognizable too. Like you'll see
That might
if
be
you
who I'm
look-
confusing with Galecki. Then.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Zach.
did watch, and I recommend if you're
The
hyped
Beanie
for
Bubble.
Barbie. to
Beanie Pony.
watch the Toys That Made Us Barbie episode. It's very good. It's very interesting. Therese had never seen that. We watched that together last night. It's great. So, all right, that is all she wrote. Thank you so much for listening. Brooke, do you want to tell people where they can find your artwork on the internet?
No, it's okay.
All right, fuck them. All our information is in the show notes. Check out our Avatar show when we do it on Sundays. It's like twice a month usually. Write in, call in, there's a voicemail. Everything's in the show notes. Go to the notes, click it, join the Discord. And until next time, everybody, stay unranked.
Brooke, you gotta say suck it.
Suck it.